is a little upset. Donald Trump just got some very interesting news and an update here. In fact, a very significant update. Significant developments in the Georgia Court of Appeals has decided to pause pretty much any proceedings in the 2020 election interference case involving former President Donald Trump and his co-defendants. This is breaking news, guys. Stop everything. Put your phone down. If you're talking to your friend, tell them, yo, you call them back. This is breaking news, guys. Before we get into this, all I ask is that you take a second, hit the like button for the video. I totally appreciate you guys. You're amazing. Yeah. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video. This is big news, guys. So the case is being handled by none other than Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. Now, the court has scheduled a tentative hearing date of October 4th to consider an appeal by Donald Trump and his co-defendants to disqualify Fani Willis from the case. Now, they're arguing that Fani Willis should be disqualified due to an alleged improper affair with former special prosecutor Nathan Wade. Ashley Merchant, I don't know if you guys remember Ashley Merchant. She actually is not Donald Trump's attorney, but rather Ashley Merchant is the attorney or counsel representing Michael Roman. This particular move by the Georgia Court of Appeals essentially ensures that Fani Willis's broad racketeering case against Donald Trump will not go to trial before the 2024 presidential election in November. This is massive news, guys. Breaking news. So Steve Sado, Donald Trump's lead defense attorney, lead defense counsel, expressed extreme satisfaction with the court's decision. Wow, Donald Trump finally got justice. Can you believe this, guys? Man, this calls for celebration, right? So he stated that, quote, the Georgia Court of Appeals has properly stayed all proceedings against President Donald Trump in the trial court pending its decision on our interlocutory appeal, which essentially argues the case should be dismissed and Fulton County DA Fani Willis should be disqualified for her misconduct. Now, Donald Trump, as well as 18 other co-defendants, were indicted in August as a part of a years-long criminal investigation, ultimately led by Fani Willis and state prosecutors in Georgia. Now, the investigation ultimately centers on Donald Trump's alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in Georgia, right? Now, the charges against Donald Trump include violating the Georgia RICO Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act, solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer, conspiracy to commit impersonating a public officer, conspiring or conspiracy to commit forgery in the first degree, conspiracy to commit false statements and writings, conspiracy to commit filings, false documents, and filing false documents in and of itself. Now, Fani Willis, she has encountered several obstacles in her attempt to bring Donald Trump to court before the election. Now, a lot of folks look at Fani Willis and they call her a George Soros funded, sponsored, DEI placed agent in order to take down Donald Trump, because many folks believe that, well, Fani Willis's only job was to take down Donald Trump. And this was a Joe Biden initiative. This is what a lot of folks are saying. Now, I can't confirm that, guys, but it certainly looks that way, doesn't it? Fani Willis has encountered a lot of obstacles in her attempt to bring down Donald Trump to trial before the election. In fact, if we go back to March, just a couple of months ago, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee, he dismissed 6 out of the total multiple charges, which were ruling that the state failed to provide sufficient details for 6 counts of solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer. Now, what this did at this time, when Judge Scott McAfee, Donald Trump's lawyer, or excuse me, the judge which is presiding over Donald Trump's case in Georgia, essentially said, hey, you didn't do what was proper. You didn't do the necessary due diligence. We're going to go ahead and drop these charges. Fani Willis was stunned. she was shocked. She was blown away by the judge dropping 6 charges against Donald Trump. So that was really just kind of like the start of it, right? Now, of course, the outcome of the October 4th hearing will be very crucial in determining whether or not Fani Willis can continue to lead the case against Donald Trump and his co-defendants, or if she's going to be disqualified altogether as requested by Donald Trump's legal team. Now, February, Michael Roman, who again is represented by Ashley Merchant. So Michael Roman, he's a GOP operative and a co-defendant in the case. He made some rather explosive accusations that Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis had an improper affair with Nathan Wade, who Fani Willis hired to help prosecute the case in November 2021. Other co-defendants echoed that Michael Roman's accusations, claiming that Fani Willis had financially benefited from her relationship with Nathan Wade by taking multiple luxurious vacations together with this well-paid special prosecutor by the name of Nathan Wade. Both Nathan Wade and Fani Willis denied having any kind of relationship or romantic relationship before this particular hiring. And they also stated that they would split the costs of these shared travels. So they said. So this was told under oath, mind you, right? Well, turns out Fani Willis mentioned that she reimbursed Nathan Wade for her share of trips in cash. Really? You got an extra 10 grand just lying around your house. Hey, here's your 10 grand that I owe you for that luxury trip to the Caribbean, to the California vineyards and whatnot. Sure. A lot of people didn't buy that. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. But after evidentiary hearings in February, Judge Scott McAfee ordered Nathan Wade to be removed from the case to prevent Fani Willis from being disqualified in the Donald Trump election interference case in Georgia. Judge Scott McAfee of Fulton County, he wrote, quote, "The established record now highlights a significant appearance of impropriety that infects the current structure of the prosecution team, an appearance that must be removed from the state selection of one of two options." So he added that Fani Willis and her entire office could either step aside or Nathan Wade could withdraw from the case. So, yeah, following this order, Nathan Wade resigned from his position as special prosecutor. In his March order, Judge Scott McAfee noted that while Fani Willis's reimbursement practice was unusual and the lack of any documentary corroboration understandably is concerning, right? He concluded that the defendants did not present sufficient evidence that expenses weren't roughly divided evenly. He also stated that the evidence demonstrated that the financial gain flowing from her relationship with Nathan Wade was not a motivating factor or the part of the district attorney to indict and prosecute this case. So, Judge Scott McAfee, he further went on to say that the court finds that the record made at the evidentiary hearing established that the district attorney's prosecution is encumbered by an appearance of impropriety. He further explained that the particular case, as this case progresses, reasonable members of the public could easily be left to wonder whether the financial exchanges have been continued, resulting in some form or another, some form of benefit to the district attorney, or whether the romantic relationship has resumed. So he went on to emphasize, hey, put it differently, an outsider could reasonably think that the district attorney is not exercising her independent professional judgment, totally free of any compromising influences. So as long as Nathan Wade remains on the case, this unnecessary perception will persist. In March, when the defense submitted a joint motion for a certificate of immediate review, well, Judge Scott McAfee, he agreed that His order on the defendant's motion to dismiss and ultimately disqualify Fani Willis, issued on March 15th, is of such importance to the case that immediate review should be had. These are his words. So this ultimately allowed the defendants to request an opportunity to appeal to the Georgia Court of Appeals, which the court granted just last month. Now, Fani Willis, she is also under investigation by two separate committees in the Georgia legislature, which are very, very concerned about her alleged misuse of federal funds. Republican lawmakers in both chambers of U.S. Congress have opened similar investigations. Fani Willis is up for re-election in November. Last month, she easily defeated her Democratic challenger in the state's primary, positioning her to face GOP challenger in the general election. Now, during her victory speech to enthusiastic supporters on election night, Fani Willis emphasized that no one is above or beneath the law, referring to her prosecution in the Trump trial. She said, it's a message that's pissing people off. It's pissing folks off, but there's no one above the law in this country, nor is there anyone beneath it. Now, I personally feel like they're treating Donald Trump like he's below the law. They're using they're using lawfare to ruin Donald Trump. They want to throw Trump in jail. They're coming after him. So when Fani Willis says that Donald Trump, or really anyone, is not below the law or above the law, I feel like she's gaslighting us. I feel like we're being lied to our faces. What do you guys think? I mean, look at Donald Trump's hush money trial with Stormy Daniels in New York City right now. Like, these folks, DA Alvin Bragg and Judge Juan Merchan, they are holding the keys to Donald Trump's freedom right now, knowing that he's the Republican primary presidential candidate right now, and they could literally throw him in jail tomorrow if they chose to. Well, technically as early as July the 11th. But thanks to some of the Republican congressmen like Mike Johnson, House Speaker Mike Johnson said, hey, why don't we just go ahead and move up this Republican nominee convention on up to Independence Day, July 4th. That way, Judge Juan Merchan cannot interfere with Donald Trump's acceptance at the Republican nominee convention at the RNC. But what do you guys think about this? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. This thing is about to explode. If you haven't already, do me a favor, hit the like button for the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with like-minded people, and I cannot wait to see you guys on the next one.